everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R chat for Sunday, August 23rd, 2026. I know my top story of the week should be Billy's ego-fueled takeover of Chancellor Industries. But as I sit here on this Sunday, all I can think is, what the heck was up with Sharon's bird shirt? Look, I love birds, and I love shirts. And I'm not saying that the pattern itself was ugly. It's just Sharon looked like she belonged on the cover of Bird and Bloom. What? I feel like every time I look at Sharon lately, I'm thinking, what are you wearing right now? Earlier in the week, she had on a bedazzled top. Straight up, no fooling. It was bedazzled. It looked like I could have hot glued them gemstones on there. Them fake gemstones on there. And again, I'm like, did I forget the decade? I mean, it is possible, but I don't think so. Sharon is a woman who has been through it. Okay? I respect that. She has had trauma after trauma, grief after grief, and now the man who raped her and tortured her family just will not go away. No, he wants forgiveness. Oh, of course. And I never really truly thought until this week about how selfish that is of him. His receiving forgiveness is more important than his victim being able to just live her life and run her coffee shop peacefully without him walking through the door every day. Then add to it, Noah and Sienna left Genoa City because of Matt. So Matt's very presence has cost Sharon the chance to be close with her son. But that's not important to him, because he wants to stay in town and have a relationship with Phyllis. Now, I'm not saying that I don't appreciate Matt's search for absolution. I actually believe Matt when he says he's not that person anymore. But he also tied Sharon to a pole in an abandoned gas station just a few months ago and tried to blow it up. So, forgive me if I'm siding with Nick on this one. Sharon is actually far more forgiving than Nick is ever going to be. I mean, the look in Sharon's eyes when she was talking to Matt and listening to Matt was one of empathy. And that is very Sharon. She looks at Matt and she knows what it feels like to lose track of yourself and dump a body in the lake. But she is also not that person anymore. She has gone to visit Nick in rehab, gone to support him, gone to try to talk to him on Matt's behalf as promised. Whoa! Matt asked her to go to Nick and express his guilt about Nick's situation. And she did it. She actually did it. That is enough. Nothing more required of you, Sharon. You have done your due diligence more than enough. And, and Nick realizes this, and it's true. Matt didn't tie Nick down and force fentanyl down his throat. But he did knock him out, hold him hostage, and make sure the drugs were in reach. And now the damage is done. Nick is going to be forever dealing with those consequences and trying to put the puzzle pieces of his life back together. But he's not alone. Okay, now let's get to Billy. I will say the number one biggest shocker of the whole week for me was when Sally came home right in the middle of a friendly toast between friends. And Billy told her all about his latest obsession, and she didn't shut him down immediately. I thought for sure Sally would be putting her foot down on this. I thought for sure she would sniff out that this is trouble coming from a mile away. And I still think she will. I just think she hasn't yet realized how ugly this is going to get. Billy is treating it all like it's a done deal. I mean, he even said, I'll be running Chancellor as early as next week. Next week? Really? You are just skipping the whole legal process? Judge and jury? Oh, this is classic Billy. He is off to the races, and his horse is going to be the winning horse. Surely. Jack called the sisters in for a conference, and I thought they made some pretty good points. Ashley gets why Billy would want this, and she knows that pushing Billy even the slightest little bit is going to damage the relationship within the family. And Traci backed that up too. We all kind of understand where Billy's coming from, but we also understand that he is incredibly sensitive. That if we push him, touch him, push his buttons at all, he has the potential to blow up. And Jack is like, I don't need this. I just got stabbed. I am trying to repair my marriage, trying to repair my life, and now I gotta have meetings with Kane, with Lily, with Billy, and now Victor is jumping on board. And Adam and Chelsea too. That's the thing. Billy has got a pretty big blind spot here. He really doesn't care who else this affects. You know? He sees it as black and white. Loophole. Mine. I actually thought it was a great solution that Lily had, calling a meeting with Jack and saying, hey, how about I just write you a check? With interest. Oh, if only that were enough. If that were enough, there'd be no drama. There'd be no reason to ask. I mean, I actually think Y&R has done an especially great job of painting Jack's position here. Because if Jack takes that check, he can stop the war immediately. He can just put an end to it all and make sure that nobody else gets hurt. But if he takes that check, Billy will never forgive him. Billy would see it as betrayal and humiliation. And Billy always loves an excuse to remind Jack that Jack never believed in him, never supported him. Even though Jack has bailed him out more times than I can count. Oh, I'm loving this drama. Honestly, it's a big mess. And everybody's getting dragged into it too. Everybody. And they all have a really understandable perspective. Lily, I think, wants a fight. She is willing to go to the mat. I think Lily has got a reputation and an ego to protect here. And I think Kane just wants what Lily wants. And he's got an ego in the game too. You know, Devon was surprisingly hands-off. I would have thought him to have a different reaction. But then again, Devon is in a place where, I don't know, I guess his perspective is just, let it go. We already have enough. We're already so fortunate. So why not just avoid the fight? You don't need Chancellor. You already have Winters. You already have your family business. And that's a pretty good point. Chancellor was free to Lily. She didn't even pay for it, I don't think. Pretty sure Victor just gave it to her for trades. I guess the thing is, I don't agree with Devon, but I understand his perspective. If I were Lily, there is no way I would hand over my property to Billy Abbott just because he says so. But I think it's also not wrong or unreasonable to just want to avoid the fight over something that you're not necessarily personally connected to. Although, I don't know, maybe that's not true. At this point, she has certainly invested money in it, right? Lily and Kane were building some kind of Chancellor condos or something. They were coming up with some real estate project together, so she's invested financially. But I also kind of feel like it's irritating how everyone wants to speculate about what Catherine would want. Well, what Catherine wanted was for the company to be run by Victor. That's why she left it to him. And he gave it away twice. Once to Jill, and then once to Lily. But now he's gonna get on his high horse and be in the fight. Victor just doesn't want Billy to have it. And he is willing to side with Kane even on this one. And he's gonna use Adam, put him into the middle of it all. Adam and Chelsea seem to see the potential story scoop here, and they want to get it before their competitors, Spectre Charles Media, can get it. And I must say, I did enjoy Adam and Chelsea enjoying themselves a little this week. It was nice to see them having some naughty chemistry this week. That lingerie you got me for Christmas? Oh, you mean the sexy one? Yeah, I mean the sexy one. What other kind is there? Y&R is really into the older woman, younger man scenario right now. I'm okay with it. If Nate wants to make me, I mean Stephanie, a grilled cheese sandwich for dinner, followed by French toast the next morning to replenish our energies, well, who am I to complain? Nate melts my butter and grills my cheese. Woo! But, caveat, I don't feel the chemistry is there between Nate and Stephanie. Not yet, anyway. Stephanie is very stiff. She's like Stiffany. And she's very motherly toward him for the most part. I mean, she kind of talks to him like she's like he's her son's friend, very professional. Even when they're not in a professional situation and is trying to be personal. But Nate is so warm. He was so adorable this week with the grilled cheese and the hope and all. He really wants his hand back, you guys. And I want this for him. He even got a little teary talking about it. Me and Stephanie are gonna be there for him to wipe those tears away. I want this. I do. I want the romance of Victoria and Kyle. I want the chaos of Victoria and Kyle. But why does Y&R feel the need to rush everything? Why can't we just take our time and build this up? Victoria cannot be so infuriated over the Chancellor Industries situation that by the end of next week she's ready to rip Kyle's clothes off over it? I don't know. The preview just annoyed me. I should be happy. I should be cheering. I've been waiting for this, wanting this. But instead, I am like, why can't we just build something meaningful for Victoria and Kyle? I mean, the best soap couples don't evolve over the course of 2 weeks or 2 months even. I mean, you have to build it up over time to the point where the viewers are begging for it and then cheering for it when it actually happens. And I'm not begging for it yet. And I wasn't cheering to see them kiss in the preview. I've seen that preview. For me was like, whatever. Victoria and Kyle have been having scenes together for months now. I will give you that. We've been talking about this for a while. But that romantic chemistry really only started being hinted at last week. I'm trying to stop myself. I'm trying to pull myself back because there's a part of me that's like, well, there goes all that potential. Victoria and Kyle will come on quick and end quick. And then Claire will find out, and it'll be great for one moment when it could be good for, ongoing. If we had actually built the attraction, the resistance, then the kiss, then the affair, and then the reveal or the being caught or whatever. I just think to myself, you know what? This is going to be done 2 months from now. Soap super couples aren't built in 2 months. Sorry. Victoria and Billy weren't built in 2 months. Claire and Kyle weren't built in 2 months. But you know what? I also cannot put my cart before the horse here. Maybe something will happen next week that makes me need that kiss right now. Because, look, Y&R has one shot to build up a Romeo and Juliet type story here, a Newman and an Abbott. And they better not blow it. Girls' night at the Shadow Room with Traci and Christine and Nina. Yes. Okay, this was the greatest moment of Y&R for the entire, I don't know, month, summer, year? No, probably not year. But the friendship, the history, the chemistry between these 3 was just, I mean, you cannot create that out of thin air. Those scenes were so good because these actresses have been working together for decades. And it was just so fun. It showed that comfort. It showed drinks and laughter and silliness and flirtiness, but also grief and just life, you know, just like here we are after all of it, past, present, and future too, just all coming together, all because Danny Romolani bought half a nightclub. Okay, hold up. Why are we only halfway in the pool here? That's my question. Why did he have to buy only half the club? Okay, that is so ridiculous because our club is now owned half by one off-screen character and half by another off-screen character. That is so ridiculous. Noah is gone. I'm sorry. I guess I would have rather had him, but he's gone. So let him be gone. And Danny's only here part of the time. I mean, really, he's only here sometimes, but he's here now. And when he's not, Daniel will be here. That's enough. Danny and Daniel should be the co-owners of the Shadow Room. And we should get more girls' nights, more music, more mullets. Keep smiling. You're a clown. Burn. Keep smiling. You're a clown. Who said it? Do you think you know? If you think it and you feel it, then you should go to yrchat.com and find out if it's true. While you're there, say happy birthday to Jackie. Birthday on the 26th. Oh, my math brain is not turned on. What date will that be? Wednesday? Jackie, I hope you have a happy birthday. What are you going to do to celebrate it? Is it like a big thing? Or do you kind of like to be more low-key? Or do you get a big thing forced onto you? I wish you a very happy one, Jackie. Hey, this really is the topic of the week. Russell says, what in the world was Sharon wearing? A Bluebird Delphinium sweatshirt? I guess she dressed down for Nick's sake, but dang, Sharon. And Tina Cole says, I noticed Sharon's sweater too. And when I saw the bird on it, my mind was exactly, Sharon's sweater has a bird on it, and I'm trying to compute. That does not seem like something Sharon would wear. You know, it's almost like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad cut. It wasn't ugly. It was fitted well. It wasn't like a giant sweatshirt. It was short and tight. It fit her well, but it was just so like, Y&R doesn't usually do prints like that. It was just so distracting, really, that I spent the first parts of those scenes just thinking about the bird. And then the next day, I'm looking out my window and I'm watching this little bird splashing around in my bird bath, and all I can think about is Sharon. So now the crossover has happened in my mind. wait a minute, does that mean when I write the Fauna and the Flora book 4, Sharon, a Sharon-inspired character will have to be a bird? Oh man, I'm gonna have to rethink it. Oh, Gary says, that boy's Nicholas Newman's looking like a young gangbanger in today's episode. Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, there was Sharon in her bird shirt, and then there was Nick in his hoodie and hat, right? He had on a hoodie and hat, and the hoodie was frayed. It was kind of, like, there's holes in it at the collar. And then I think it was like a backwards baseball cap. I'm trying to remember because like Sharon really stole that scene outfit-wise. But yeah, and then he's looking so gray. Like it was very salt and peppery. Yeah, it was definitely like dressed down. It was definitely like, let's show our characters dressed down. Last week I asked you about your first impressions of Marie, thumbs up, thumbs down. 59% gave her a thumbs up, which I think is pretty significant considering she came on in a not so great circumstance. I mean, she came on basically doing drugs with one of our main characters and then sleeping with him, and then, you know, the ultimate having, you know, overdosing, having, you know, putting Nick in the position of saving her life, and then showing up at the rehab and flirting with him. I mean, she came on strong, and still 59% give her a thumbs up. Marianne V says, I like Marie. She may turn out to be Nick's next love interest. Nick can still play her savior. Oh yeah, that's part of the appeal, isn't it? Tony says, I don't know the actress from any previous shows. I'm strictly a CBS soaper. I think she might know Matt. We'll know when she meets him. She might be related to Sienna. They have a similar look. Or maybe Jade, who they've alluded to recently. That could acquaint her with Christian. She'll have a GC connection. She can stay, although ultimately not with Nick. Oh, Tony says she can stay, although ultimately not with Nick. I feel like the Jade thing, though, is like, I think I miscommunicated that. I think the actress who's playing Marie's name is Jade. I don't think it's a separate character, and I think I got that wrong. So I'm sorry if I put that misinformation out there. I thought I thought Marie's character's name was Jade before it was said on screen. I had only kind of seen it as a casting update, and I guess the name Jade just stuck with me a little more than Marie. But yeah, now I think the real interesting idea here is that she might have a connection to Matt. I have to read this comment from Christopher on YouTube that said, Nick and Marie will lean on each other and they will grow closer. And one day, Marie will tell Nick that her divorce with her estranged husband has been finalized and that she will go back to using her maiden name, which is spelled C-L-A-R-K. Boom! I mean, what about that? Matt Clark's sister? I mean, now, if Y&R really wanted to blow our minds, that would be a heck of a twist, because she could be someone that could have, you know, empathy and understanding of her brother having grown up with him, and then Marie, you know, Marie is growing close with Nick. I mean, that can create both conflict and resolution. Ugh. It's almost too good, Christopher. It's almost like so good Y&R probably won't do it. But I love the idea. Victoria says, as I listened to Matt talk about how he wants to earn forgiveness, I thought, well, Matt, do you realize how selfish you are wanting to stay in Genoa City? Characters are leaving and spiraling out because Matt is staying in town. Matt knows and still thinks his need for forgiveness is greater than their comfort. Jeez. Yeah, Victoria, that was my impression too, and I hadn't thought about it before. But yeah, it's actually selfish of him to stay. Naomi says, I think Matt is playing the long game. He will gain trust from Nick and Sharon by carefully portraying the changed man. He asked Sharon to convey Matt's concerns to Nick. Just hearing Sharon mention Matt's name will push Nick further into despair. What a great way to destroy both without doing anything except play head games. Oh, wow, the Matt skepticism. Brent also says, I've been on Matt's side, but his words to Sharon seemed out of the blue. A bit too conciliatory given what's already transpired. Something felt wrong about it. Wow. Okay, I didn't pick up on any sinister motive or ulterior motive from Matt in those moments. It read to me as sincere, but maybe only because Y&R has spent so much time building him up as such. I actually think it would be a much better twist if he did have an ulterior motive or he was still playing head games. I mean, this is Matt Clark we're talking about here. It is absolutely possible, and in fact, I kind of hope so. And I think it is possible also that next week we're going to see something. I don't want to spoil because I know I don't really like spoils, but I did happen to see some stuff for next week that Matt is going to have a run-in with someone unexpected, which perhaps will cast some suspicion on him. On that completely unrelated note, Russell says, remember when Jack summarized the events to Diane that wrapped up the Patty story? It just occurred to me that they may not have aired some episodes so that they could get back on schedule with the timeline. It was off when the Beyond the Gates crossover happened, and they weren't dressing for summer long after it was summer. Yeah, that's a good point too. Maybe some scenes didn't air. It is clear that whatever happened with Patty and Markham got scrapped or changed or sidelined or maybe even just delayed. Something happened there and we didn't get a resolution, but maybe we will. Well, big topic of the week. Steven says, it seems like Billy is assuming that just because he found an agreement John made, he automatically gets to enforce it and decide the remedy too. But since the agreement is part of John's estate, it would be something for the executor, John Abbott, to deal with. Jack has a duty to act in the best interest of the estate, not Billy's personal interests. And he could decide that the best resolution is simply to have the loan repaid in full with interest. Billy may have found Dad's document, but he doesn't get to decide what happens to it. If he disagrees with Jack's decision as the executor, he needs to sue Jack, not Lily. Ooh, yeah. And Connie says, I get that Billy is always impulsive and a loose cannon, but this behavior seems more intense and spiraling into a manic obsession. I'm trying to decide if he needs medication, addiction counseling, or a kick in the pants. Yeah, and Y&R wants it to be that way. You can tell that Billy's dialogue is starting to have some of his gambling terms thrown back in it. I mean, he told Victor something, or Lily, you should know a gambler he told Victor, you should know a gambler likes going up against the best, because that feeds the ego. So, blah, 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 blah. Y&R wants us to see Billy that way. He's starting to talk like a gambler again. We're supposed to view this as obsession, for sure. And Tina Cole says, you can see the impulsiveness in Billy. He couldn't even wait until he talked to the lawyers and had a true sit-down discussion with his family before blabbing to Kane and Lily. He automatically thinks he will be the one to run Chancellor and that Ashley, Jack, or Traci would not. There are many ways for someone who has a gambling addiction to seek a high, and this is his. That feeling of claiming to Kane and Lily, and I'm sure Jill, that he owns Chancellor, is the high he was looking for. It's okay to have ambition, but Billy just wants the feeling of having power without working for it. He was given money from Jack to start his own company from the ground up in Abbott Communications. But working hard to make something big wasn't enough for him. Unfortunately for Billy, even if he gets to run Chancellor, the high of getting it will fade, and he will search for the next thing to get him that same feeling winning a poker hand would. I never hear Billy talk about how excited he is to be a father again, and how life with Sally is about how his life with Sally and being a great dad to his new baby is his new purpose. I don't want Sally to miscarry, but this relationship does not feel like some epic love story, and I am patiently waiting for it to combust. Dang, Tina Cole. Where is the skewer? Let's skewer Billy and just roast him. And it's true. It is true. Jack gave him the funding and the chance to start a company, to start something of his own. It is not that he wants to build something. It is not that he wants to be at the helm of something. It is that he wants the thrill of the power and the takeover. And it's really becoming quite clear. And not only that, but this is very revenge fueled. This is very ego fueled. He got taken out of the top spot at Chancellor. He's never been able to let that go. He saw it as an affront to his reputation, and he wants very much to shove this in everyone's face. That is as much a part of it as anything else. Well, what happens when you get into Chancellor and now you're the one that's got to sit at the desk doing all of the paperwork every day? You can almost bet it's not going to look quite as appealing then. Daisy says, Billy doesn't ever want to make his own way. He just wants someone else's. But he has no proof. His lawyers work for Billy. They're not an independent organization looking for the truth. Also, Lily should contact Mackenzie and see if she has her father's documents, which would likely include his mother's. I'm guessing they had Brock Reynolds die when the actor Beau Kaiser did, so I'd think his daughter would have his belongings. Of course, Victor might have the real information and will sit on it until he's able to embarrass Billy. Billy was warned. I still wonder, though, if the secret Jill has is not about the company, but about Billy not being an Abbott. He may end up discovering this as he digs deeper into the past. Yeah, that is so interesting, too. I totally think a document is going to come up. Somehow, a document is going to come up. I mean, are you telling me that Philip didn't repay any of it? He didn't even make an attempt? It was just thanks for the money, and then, I don't know, forgot. There were no installments of payments made whatsoever. I think you're right, too, Daisy, that Victor's probably going to be the one to find the information, and then he is not going to hesitate to use it to humiliate Billy. My question for you guys, because I think Billy's negative qualities are very clear. I think Billy's, negative reasons and maybe not healthy reasons for wanting to do all this are also very clear. But is there anyone out there who is backing Billy? Is there anyone out there who sees this, who's watching this, and is thinking, you know what? Yeah, Billy, you go. Well, that's our poll question for this week at yrchat.com. Are you backing Billy? And if you are a Billy backer, you have got to come out this week and support your boy at yrchat.com. Vote in the poll, but also leave a comment. We need that perspective, because I kind of agree with everything everybody else is saying here. I need someone to present the perspective to me as to why Billy should win. That's what I want to hear this week, please. Brent says, why is no responsible member of the Abbott family pointing out the obvious truth? John Abbott, for whatever reason, didn't want to execute the contract and take over Chancellor. Therefore, we should respect his wishes. Or am I missing something? I don't know how long the payback period was, but he clearly lost interest in Chancellor by not telling any of his kids about it. I mean, dang, Brent, yeah. So I think it was like a 25-year payback or something, and this happened in the 70s. I can't, they said the timeline, but I don't remember it now. But I mean, no matter what, John would have been alive for the majority of this, and he never peeped a word about it. And it hasn't occurred to any of the children to say, well, you know what, if Dad didn't want to pursue it, maybe we shouldn't. I think it is interesting that, one thing that did come up this week was, well, Catherine just must not have known about it, or she would have paid it back. I think that was a good point that needed to be made. But hey, let's talk about this. T. Nicole says, Sally seemed more concerned about Billy and Audra having drinks together. She couldn't stop bringing it up. The writing is on the wall, is what it is. I mean, Y&R had Sally's reaction be mild, but that is temporary. I mean, eventually Sally is going to tell Billy, we do not need this. We have got a baby on the way. We have got a wedding coming up. We do not need this. You are causing pain. You are causing scandal. You need to give it up. And the one person who's going to understand him is Audra. Diana says, I really love the idea of Billy and Audra. That idea feels so scandalous and hot. We know Audra will totally sleep with Sally's man, pregnant or not pregnant. Audra will not really care. Audra always get what she wants. Audra always get what she wants. Sally seemed quite jealous when she got home and saw Audra and Billy together sharing a drink. Sally has not seen anything yet. Wait till Billy shares a lot more than that with Audra. Woohoo! I look forward to seeing a lot more of Audra and Billy. I hope we get a slow burn for these two characters. That'll make the storyline more compelling. Well, Diana, I mean, that's the key ingredient. Slow burn. I mean, it's just a different day and age, I guess. Y&R probably feels very compelled to make everything so shocking and everything so clippable, but I don't know. I just, like, Billy and Audra being a couple, actually, yeah. I think that has more potential than Billy and Sally, but I need to get there. I don't, if it feels like it's just like this combustible, no build up kind of thing, it's just not as enjoyable. I need the energy to start to build between them. And then it needs to like go on almost a little bit too long so that, when the affair happens, I'm all for it. And we had been asking for an affair. Well, several of us had been asking for a good old-fashioned affair, and that could be it. Like a good old-fashioned sneaking around. Of course, Victoria and Kyle might be filling that bill. Hey! Victor Newman is involved in this whole thing now. Naomi says, I hope there's another document that either reveals Billy's true parentage or that somehow Victor Newman is the rightful owner of Chancellor and Chabot. Please let more to be revealed than just an unpaid loan. I'm sick of Billy and I'm sick of his tiresome arguments with Jill. She's a tough broad and didn't kiss your owies when you were a kid. She's a tough broad and didn't kiss your owies when you were a kid, Billy. Big deal. Get over it. No kidding. I mean, I'm not going to argue that Jill was probably not the best mother, but yeah. It's interesting. I do think there will be another document. I do think Victor will get his hands on it. It would be crazy if he ended up getting his hands on Chabot, too. Wouldn't be the first time. So this week's Y&R Chat Retro Recap is long overdue. almost so obvious it's hard to believe it didn't come sooner. This week's Why in Our Chat Retro Recap is all about Victor versus Jack. Probably the most famous feud on The Young and the Restless, and it's been done. It's been going on for 40 years now, and even if this particular topic does not grab you right away, the Victor and Jack rivalry as a umbrella has encompassed so many major stories. I mean, from Victor getting involved with Ashley, Jack retaliating by marrying Nikki, Victor retaliating by taking over Chabot, Jack leaving Victor for dead when he had his heart attack, Victor having Jack replaced with Marco Anicelli, a Peruvian drug lord twin, and everything that has happened between them. So many stories, more than I could even possibly cover in one video, but I tried, and I did talk about those early years. And as a matter of fact, I tried to approach this huge topic of Victor and Jack by asking this question: where did it begin? Where did it all start? We all know what's going on. We're dealing with it almost every week. There are few rivalries that have been as long and have been as enduring and have been a part of so many stories and have been in our face. How did it all begin? That's the question I attempt to answer. And there is an answer. There is an origin point. And from there, it was like everything became a one-upping. It was just a constant escalation all the way up until today. It's a very interesting story. It's core to the history of Y&R, Jack and Victor. So many stories that get relived in that one if you're interested. And you can find it at yrchat.com. I've got all of the retros in the flashback section there, but I've also got them in a playlist on YouTube if you're having some spare time this week and want to take that crazy trip down memory lane. Oh, this makes me laugh, Russell. Russell says, today, Kane is wearing his second big jacket pants set that are identical, same color. Yesterday was a green one and today is brown. It's like a leisure pantsuit for dudes or granimals for big boys. Granimals for big boys. Russell, you're killing me. Kane's wardrobe kills me. When he walked in that brown matching suit, I rolled my eyes. He probably had no socks and loafers on as well. He dresses, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's some ladies out there that like that sort of thing. But Russell, you have nailed it. It is like he is wearing children's clothes that are made for men. So you have to buy it. He likes a matching set. Ugh. And then I see him in a scene with a man like Eric Braeden, and I think Eric Braeden must be rolling his eyes. Oh, he very basic, like jeans, shirt, leather jacket, or a suit or whatever. And then Kane comes in his Ken clothes. He looks like Ken. If they make a Barbie movie number 2, they need to cast him as Ken. Is there, ladies, men, guys, everyone out there this week, is there anyone who finds that attractive? It's okay if you do, but I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words on Kane's wardrobe. But not for this. Connie says, girls' night out was perfect. I've had many happy hour moments with lifelong friends, and these ladies' conversations were authentic and fun. They hit the past, present, future topics that always include work, family, kids, and men. My beloved Traci girl flirting with the bartender was so cute. Nina talking about Chance and her grief group tugged at my heartstrings. But what a clever way to wrap up the Allen story. Keep Chance in the conversation and give Nina an LA love interest that understands her heartbreak. Christine gave us the mullet to honeymoon to shadow room condensed transition story that's still a work in progress. My only criticism is there was no snacks, and mixing liquors is a no-no in my circle of friends because we've also shared some hangover stories. You know what I also really liked was the moment when they all, like, Danny was implied to be there, but he wasn't really there. So the scene opened up with all the girls going, "Bye, Danny." That should not have worked, but it did. Diana says, I loved seeing Cricket at the club. I also loved seeing Danny sing for his friends that included Lauren and Michael. They were all cheering him on with Cricket as they listened to his new song. I thought it was pretty good, and I liked the story behind the song. Danny was mentioning how Traci used to sing, and Lauren, and Traci had a pretty good voice, but Lauren could not sing well. It was quite awful back in the day. I feel like Y&R is trying to go back to some old school ways, which I love. I have a feeling we may be seeing Lauren and possibly Traci back on the stage again. We may see this if we ever get to see this additional singing space they've mentioned at the club. Yeah, what did you guys think of the song, by the way? It was very rock anthem. You know, to me, it seemed like it's something that he would have been singing at, on stage in a stadium or something. It was very sing-alongable. It was very poppy, like very pop rock. It was very Danny. And he delivered it with such enthusiasm, too. But Russell says, I hate it when Danny sings. Always have. It's so middling and awkward. Russell! Blasphemy! Oh, I can't believe it. I have to recover from that. I have to recover from that hot take. I love Danny. I love his songs. And the irony for me was that this week, literally on the week that Danny is on Y&R and singing a song, I was working with my producer for the song for the Fauna and the Flora book 2, which is a Tanny Aromalati original. It was quite a moment for me. Not only was I getting my Y&R Danny fix, but I was creating my F&F Tanny fix at the exact same time. You know, I think probably 10 years ago, I felt differently about musical interludes on the show. In fact, I'm sure you could go back into the Y&R chat archives and find plenty of places where I am complaining about the musical interludes because I just want my drama. But, I mean, some have worked better than others. That not all musical interludes are the same. Some have been good, some have not been good. And I think, I don't know, there's just a part of me that loves it. Music is a part of Y&R, not just the background music. We've had some pretty significant artists come onto the show and launch themselves off of the show. So I guess I have accepted it more as time has gone on, and I feel it is very much a part of the show, and that's why I made it a part of F&F. Every book that I write, every audiobook that I produce, I want it to have one song. It just feels right. That's kind of the way Y&R is, so it's kind of the way I want F&F to be. And as I've told you guys before, I am deep in audiobook recording right now. In fact, this week I posted a video to my other YouTube channel of my very first 6 a.m. audiobook recording session. The very first day, I sat in front of the mic and read the title and chapter 1, and I'm just going along. It's very early. It was before I started recording. It's in a different, in the closet, in front of the mic. If anyone is interested in seeing that, my other YouTube channel, I mean, you can find it just by searching the Fauna and the Flora, or Restless Forest Books, I think is my username there. I'll pin it. I'll pin it here on YouTube so you guys can find it if you want to see me at 6 a.m. in my morning hat and my robe and my sleepy eyes, trying to warm up my voice to record the Fauna and the Flora Book 2 audiobook. It's a trip. It's the hardest part of the whole process, but it's actually coming along a lot quicker this time. And, you know, if you want to subscribe to that other channel, I will be kind of doing little updates as I go along. It's sort of getting me through the long process. It's not the recording that's the hard part. It's the editing. It's the editing. But, you know, making some little, I mean, it's like a 2-minute video. I'm going to try to vlog my way through and preserve it for posterity. Even though it's hard, it's getting done. And the song is sounding really good too. If you haven't heard the song from book 1, oh man, you're missing out. I hope that you guys have heard it. I hope that you heard it and cherished it. It is for you. It is a song that I wrote and performed for you. You will love it. RestlessForest.com is where the Fauna and the Flora lives. And YRChat.com is where all of my Y&R Chat weekly stuff lives. I mean, tons of photos that I grab there throughout the week. The poll, the quote, and of course the conversation, which is important most of all. I have been chiming in there as the week goes on with my little thoughts, and so have you. I love hearing what you guys are saying throughout the week. So as you are watching Y&R and saying, I haven't thought about that, well, there's a place you can go to put it, yrchat.com. Or you can just come back here next Sunday. I'll be here, same as I have been for the last 19 years. Oh, you can count on it. Okay, I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Sunday.